This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 844 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Met Larson of Nushul Bits joins Dressage Radio Show co-hosts Reese Koeffler-Stanfield and Philip Parks with some helpful hints on choosing the right bit. And we'll get right to our tip after this nutritional minute from Kentucky Performance Products.
This Nutrition Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, the company that simplifies your search for research-proven nutritional supplements at kppusa.com.
Have you heard of Saccharomyces boulardii? It's a yeast, a type of probiotic. Often referred to as S. boulardii, it benefits your horse's digestive tract in several different ways. One unique property of S. boulardii is that it supports the stimulation of something called brush-border membrane enzymes that are found in the intestinal lining. These enzymes help your horse digest starches and sugars in the small intestine. When the sugars and starches are more completely digested, fewer of them escape into the hindgut where they can ferment and cause imbalances that lead to colic, diarrhea, and laminitis. Saccharomyces boulardii is found in Nalox Advanced, made by Kentucky Performance Products. Nalox Advanced contains a blend of yeast, fermentation solubles, and stomach buffers. These ingredients work together to maintain your horse's digestive tract in peak condition. Nalox Advanced is recommended for horses of all ages and stages and is fed on a daily basis.
This Nutritional Minute has been brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. You can find all of their terrific products at kppusa.com.
So, Meta, let me just a question versus just for somebody. I'm actually on the website now and looking at the bits, and you have the loose ring versus a fixed cheek. If people were trying to decide, okay, I want to come on the website and I want to decide on a bit, how do you decide between a loose ring and a fixed cheek?
Well, with the loose ring, the horse feels all that vibration in your fingers, like they feel a lot more. So if you have a horse that's really sensitive in the mouth, you might actually, or a young horse sometimes, or a rider that has less experience, you might want to go with a fixed cheek bit because they're not going to feel all those changes and vibrations in your fingers that you feel in a loose ring. So sometimes when I have a horse or a rider, or especially if you have a rider that's, the hands move a little bit, to make it a little bit gentler and kinder for your horse, you might want to pick a fixed ring bit. Also for a young horse or for a horse that drifts through the aids, the fixed ring, whether it's an egg butt or it's a full cheek or any of those, it'll give lateral stability to the face. So sometimes a young horse, you want that. You might have to physically, show the horse where the direction. Then a fixed cheek, you've got that lateral stability to help direct them. And that's kind of those are the kind of the questions that you ask yourself or your trainer and when you're evaluating your horse in deciding what kind of bit do I want, loose ring versus a fixed cheek.
And how about some guideline for sizing the bit? How do you recommend that people do that the best way to get the right size when they order?
So take the bit that you have and measure it. And what you really want is, and then look at what it looks like in your horse's mouth. So with the loose ring, it's the most important because if it's way too tight, you risk pinching your horse's mouth. But you'd like about 1/8 of an inch on either side of the horse's mouth when that bit is sitting in his mouth. So if you don't know what size he is, take whatever bit you're on, put it in, take a look, see if it's too big, too small. Measure it, lay it down flat on the table, and then measure from the inside ring to the other inside ring, and then add or subtract according to how it sits in your horse's mouth. That's really how you decide. If it's a fixed cheek, it can be, you still would like about 1/8 of an inch, but it can be a little bit closer because you're not going to pinch anything. It's important that it is the right size because if it's too big, it won't sit correctly in the horse's mouth, and then you can create some pain for them.
So, Meta,
YouTube is awesome.
Yeah, YouTube is awesome. Very helpful. Meta, when you're talking about, let's say I wanted to buy a bit, and I actually bought the bit as a Bradoon. Is that okay? Because I thought, well, I could use it as a snaffle versus a double. Can you talk to everybody a little bit about just buying it, trying it that way if you have a horse that maybe will also go on a double bridle?
You can use the Bradoon size rings as a snaffle bridle, and we often do that, and especially with people that have horses with finer, more refined heads, we'll do a 55 millimeter ring. Both are legal in dressage. You can show in a Bradoon ring or a snaffle ring as a snaffle bit.
Well, Meta, thank you so much for all your information. I think bits are they're such a hot topic and something that even trainers, we all want to try new things and use new products and figure out what's the best for all the horses that we have. So thank you so much. How would our listeners contact you?
That's easy. You can go to our website, which is Metlar, METLAR-US.com. And on the site, you can look up all the bits and any information that you might need there. And then if you need to contact us directly, you can contact me at mlarsen, MLARSEN, at metlar-us.com. And we'll help you figure out what bit is the best bit for your horse. We're here to help you, and we want the best bit in your horse's mouth so that he can be as happy as possible. And if you need to give us a call, you can call us at 631-252-5574, or go to your local tack store. If they carry our bits, they can help you as well.
Well, there you go. If you enjoy Reese and Phillip chatting about all things dressage, you can tune in every week at dressageradio.com. You can also find lots more tips about topics ranging from barn care to websites for horse people at horsetipdaily.com. Just look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of Kentucky Performance Products. You can find them online at kppusa.com. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.